Trojan Horse by Matt Proxy. What's going on, you guys? It's Tyson. Back again today with another album review. And today we're talking about Trojan Horse, the debut LP from Minneapolis, Minnesota artist Matt Proxy. He kind of exists in a space that I am not overly familiar with. Honestly, I don't keep up with a lot of like the new gen rap, but this album was brought to my attention recently and I was able to check it out over these past couple days. Listening through his catalog, his talent is just absolutely undeniable. After listening to the album, I came across his YouTube channel because I was hoping he had some music videos. I wanted to watch them last night. He didn't really have any music videos, but what I did find was tons of videos of him showing some of his music production techniques, showing how to make beats that kind of fit a certain style. And it's really cool to see someone create their own music out of a scene like that, because I love music production. I think it's so cool. It's something that I've worked on for a while, and I'll admit there will be certain times where I'm really into it and I'm really locked in, and then there will be other times where I'm not at all. So I fizzle out with it. It's really cool that fans and aspiring producers alike can take a look at his creative process and figure out a way to maybe implement that into their own, or just get some creative inspiration. I think it's so cool. His ear for production is incredible. That's one thing I noticed when I was watching his videos. And then the fact that he's able to just take these ideas from his mind. Like, you can see him piecing like this puzzle of production together every time you watch one of his videos. And when he puts the stuff in his DAW, it's just crazy to see. The fact that he's only 19. Did I mention that at the beginning? He's a 19-year-old artist. This is mind-blowing stuff. Being able to do what he's doing at 19, when a lot of rappers or experimental artists are in their 30s, not being able to pull off stuff like this. So his future is incredibly bright. Some influences that I believe I see in his music are JPEG Mafia is a main one that people will say. His cadence and style of rap kind of reminds me a little bit of Earl Sweatshirt. I don't necessarily want to make comparisons either, because it's unlike anything I've ever heard in my life. I think this is some of the best work I've ever heard in experimental rap. I get why someone would say JPEG Mafia is a lazy comparison. Like, if you think that, I'm not mad at you. If Matt Proxy was offended that I compared him to anyone, I would completely understand, because he is so incredibly unique. He's willing to sample anything, and we see that on this album and through listening to a couple of his old songs. Like, there's literally a sample of I'm Dante talking on this album. I also like how he's able to make a fusion of rap and like indie rock, indie pop, and indie folk, and like bedroom pop, that kind of thing. Like, that's not something we've seen a lot of. It's a crazy fusion. I feel like he made emo rap cool. You could call this like an emo experimental rap album, and this is the coolest something like that has ever sounded. Ever. But anyway, I gotta talk about this album, because what the heck? This is his debut album from everything I understand, at least from everything that exists on Apple Music. How do you pull this off? The whole album is good. There are definitely songs that they're an acquired taste, but there are 5 songs on this album that I think anyone could sit down and listen to and be like, wow, this is incredible. I've never heard anything like it, and it's amazing. My 5 main standout tracks from this album were 5, Misery, Blue, Sorry, and God. 5 is the opening track on this album, and it features a verse from Fake Mink, who I'm like familiar with, but not familiar with the music of. I just know of the artist. This song, to me, faced a lot of pressure because it was my introduction to Matt Proxy as an artist, and he was able to draw me in within 15 seconds. Like, literally, the first time I ever heard him, 15 seconds, I'm completely bought in. The rock intro on there, it leads into like a rap verse that has some very memorable lines that I'm still kind of quoting in my head as I'm just walking through today. I've listened to this album like 4 times in the last 12 hours. Like, I can't get enough of it. He shows a lot of like songwriting potential for his age, and I think experimental rap is a subgenre where the lyrics oftentimes have to take a back seat, so it's cool to see that he, even though obviously his production is like incredible, he's still like working on the pen. And on this song, I question if maybe he punched it in, but either way, like, if he punched it in or if he wrote it, it shows a lot of potential, because if he punched it in, how quick-witted do you have to be to come up with all this on the fly while you're producing a song? The next track that stood out to me was Misery, and on Misery it became clear how emotional of an album this was for him. The lyrics get a little bit more depressing as this album goes on. Aside from the album, I hope he's okay as a person, because he seems like a really cool guy, and there's some really depressing moments on this album. And Misery is one of the rap verse on this album, to me, is the strongest we hear on the entire thing. And then it's not even the best part about the song. It's great. Like, this is one of my favorite rap verses of the year. But then we get this beat switch that makes it this grandiose, huge statement. I don't want to go any further into it because I want people to watch this video and then go listen to this album. If you need something new to listen to, you gotta go to this. Another standout track here was Blue. This one featured like a indie folk. I thought it was a sample at the beginning. It sounds like an Ethel Cain song to me, but I'm a pretty big Ethel Cain fan, and I didn't recognize the song. And then also, I did some research. I looked at like who sampled. I googled like what song does Blue by Matt Proxy sample, and I can't detect anything on here. Like, it's saying there's no sample, so that makes me wonder, did he sing this and pitch it in a certain way? If he did, I'm even more blown away and like so invested into this career. But if any of you are fans and you know, please let me know in the comments. But anyway, it features like a indie folk song, basically. Like, it's literally just a song, and then he's rapping over it, so both of them are going at the exact same time. And I do think for some people that might be like hard to get into at first, but for me, like right when I heard it, I fell in love, because those are two of my favorite genres right there, and when you combine them into one, it's just really cool. And then we get to the last two songs from this album that I absolutely loved. The first one of those was Sorry. Sorry is the most accessible song on this album, so if you want to just listen to one song and you're expecting it to be like a fun kind of poppy experience, go listen to Sorry. Sorry is like a pop R&B kind of song. And the thing I love about it is I feel like he did it just to show everyone that he could. Like, he has the potential to make these radio kind of hits, but he's going to exist in the space that he does because that's what inspires him. And that's what I think is so cool about his music. Seeing a producer that can produce at this level, not selling out and creating what's true to him, I absolutely love it. I think it's so cool. Yeah, Sorry is a banger. I don't know if that... Baby, I'm sorry. I don't know if that's Matt. Like, I don't know. There's so many different sounding voices on this album. I don't know if it's coming from samples. I don't know if it's coming from people he brought into the studio to sing for him. I don't know if it's him manipulating his vocals to sound a certain way. Whatever it is, this song absolutely knocks. So you gotta listen to that. And then the last and best song on this album is the outro. It's called God, and it features verses from... I don't even know if it features verses, but it features a lot of different artists. I don't remember them all off the top of my head. Regardless, God is one of the best songs I have heard this year. I'm not saying anything about it because you have to go listen to this. I hope I'm able to build anticipation and hype for this song in the way I want to, because hearing this song like made me so emotional. Just hearing him have that release at the end of this super depressing album. This song just feels like the entirety of someone's creative energy put into one thing, and it is gorgeous what it's able to turn into by the end. So please listen to God by Matt Proxy if you don't take anything else away from this video. In the context of the album, it hits even harder, so if you're willing to listen to the whole album, I would recommend it. But if you can only listen to one, go listen to God, because it's Song of the Year contender for sure. But yeah, so after you guys hear me talk about this, it's pretty clear Trojan Horse by Matt Proxy is going to receive my second awesome review of the year. I absolutely loved it. I can't get enough of it, and I'm going to be returning to it for the next few days. If you guys like this video, please make sure you drop a like. Go ahead and comment down below if there are any upcoming albums you want me to listen to. I see Phoebe Bridgers is coming back soon, which is huge for me. New Beeba Doobie single was sick. The Love Spells album is coming out soon. New Quadeca single. Like, music is so up right now. This might trump all of that. So listen to Trojan Horse by Matt Proxy and let me know what you think. I love you guys. Later.